I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call?
Scott?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Linda?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Rob?
Okay, before we get started, we're gonna need a motion to appoint somebody for council president.
I nominate Scott Harrison for council president.
I'll second it.
It was real quick, wasn't it?
Lack of options.
Scott?
Yes.
Not Scott. Joyce?
Yeah.
Linda?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Am I allowed, I think, am I allowed to vote?
As your
Yeah,
vote.
you can vote.
Rob?
Yes. Call Bill.
Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill second.
Yes.
Did you accept?
Yeah.
You're being grid, so.
Sure, asking you.
Yeah, we're just telling
Well, I
you.
kinda figured I've been around you guys long enough. No.
Okay, approval of video as minutes.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Linda?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Bill?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Okay, discussion and approval of the finance report, Scott.
Okay, bank reconciliation, for 12/31/2018. We had $1,798,432.48. Okay. Payment listings, checks that were written, totaled $58,563.41. Any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the financial report.
I'll second.
Pass these around so you can see.
Joyce?
Yeah.
Steve?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Okay, no special guests. Gavin, you wanna do the police report?
For December, had 5 traffic citations, 19 warnings, 1 juvenile complaint, 1 disturbance or disorderly conduct, 1 animal complaint, 4 parking, abandoning or disabled vehicles, 1 assist, and 3 in the other category. 35 calls were handled in the village. I handled 28 of them for 80%. And there were 496 calls total for the year.
What did you say, what's the other three, what does that entail?
It's the ones that come in that are general, that don't fall under any of the other ones. So it's not a traffic ticket or...
Anybody got anything for Gavin? Must be
Fine job,
generous
Gavin.
for, in the Christmas spirit, 19,
Huh?
19 warnings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the Christmas spirit. Okay, Mike, you're up for that.
What I got there. They stuck together. There should be enough for everybody. They stuck together.
Yeah, you can. Mhm.
We had 9 calls for the month of December, which brought us to a grand total for the year, 138. In the notes, the final truck inspection at the manufacturer will be the week of January 25th. So hopefully we'll hear something from him when he comes back. He's going out to Wisconsin to finalize the truck, so And then we purchased 6 new sets of turnout gear, which should arrive here this week or next week, hopefully. And all air packs were tested.
How much are you asking for the truck, the old truck?
Whatever you want to
162?
give us.
Well, don't you have a price you'd kinda like to have, or what's it worth, or anything, or?
It's not worth a whole lot right now, it'll be in need of repair. Without getting someone who knows a little bit more about it than I do, and in order to get a price.
Which one was 62? Is that the one that we're
The
replacing?
one's service, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got the busted spring in there.
Yeah, busted spring, there's some transmission issues.
Is there anybody you can just give it to, that, some
I thought
other
we
place
could-
that needs
I thought
one
we
that they
put
could
on
fix it?
government deals.
Yeah, Let me try that, see what happens.
Got deals and see what happens.
That's probably easiest, least intrusive.
In order to do that, Johnny or Angela have to fill out some, because there's financial information on there that they need to know about, that I don't know about.
But let's try to do that, see if we can get something out of it or whatever.
That's all we can do for that. But yeah, you probably only get scrap price, if not maybe a little bit more. Be my
Is
guess.
the engine good?
Yeah, the engine's really good. The body's in good shape, but not too many people want, you know, it'd be different if it was a tanker where, like a farmer wanted a water truck or something like that, it'd be different, but. So it's a
Yeah, they
risky
don't
truck.
bring a whole lot of money.
Yeah, right, they don't, resell now, they don't bring a whole lot of money. So,
Well, let's go ahead and do that, then if that makes sense to you, just do that.
yeah, that was our plan, was to try to get on gov deals and see if we can't recuperate some money from it. At least, it's gotta be out of here, because we got,
You gotta find room for the new one.
right.
Did you get a money amount on your popcorn balls? Did you break even? Did you
Yeah,
make a little bit?
We made
or-
a little bit, I forget what the price was, almost 2,000.
Oh, well, that's good.
Good.
And we've got some ideas for next year, okay, already, so get ready for us, okay?
Okay. I'm glad you're excited.
We had a good time, and Lois just loved it, you know, yeah, she
Right,
did, yeah, it was
right.
really nice.
She's been helping out for quite a
Yeah,
bit of years.
yeah.
Yeah, she was famous, she was in the newspaper
Mm-hmm.
a couple times.
Thank you for your service.
Okay.
Alrighty. John, do you wanna, while we're doing this with the bank? Bring that up now?
Suppose. Okay. What we have is, the interest rate is gonna be dependent on whether we are bank tax exempt. And what exactly that is, we gotta call in the auditors and figure that out. It's either gonna be 5.39% or 4.49%. And the difference in that is about $2,700. So, once we get that figured out, I mean, we're pretty much done with everything, we just gotta get that portion of it figured out. Angela's got a bunch of stuff to do with auditors required for her to pay out of. The amount that we ended up needing to finance, well, we will need to finance. The total for the truck was $273,352. We paid $89,976 for the chassis up front. Since we did that, we got $35,799 taken off. So that left us with a total of $179,797 still owed. We had agreed to pay $180,000 towards this truck, so we still have to put $90,000 towards it. The total to finance will be $89,797. And once the interest rate is figured out, that'll decide if the total is going to be $104,529 or $102,069. Basically, with the highest amount, it breaks down to $20,900
A year.
$20,900 a year.
Don't go 5 years?
For 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
So it'll be paid off fairly quickly. Their levy brings in roughly 19.2, maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less, depending on who's paying their taxes and who isn't. So, we're only looking at having to come up with maybe a couple grand towards the payment, so. It's all working out the way I was kinda hoping, so, that's really just where we sit, and when we get to that
Yep.
part on there, we'll have a resolution to pass so we can enter into the loan agreement with the bank
Okay.
and appoint Gary to sign the paperwork, so.
We're getting a new fire truck with it.
So, does anybody have any questions about that?
That's kinda like we talked about.
Here, you wanna do the resolution?
We can. I'm sitting. I've got it right here. I can read it to you guys, and you guys vote on it, approve it. I can
Okay,
email it for signatures.
go for it, might as well do it.
Resolution. The Council of the Village of Bettsville met in regular session in Bettsville, Ohio on January 8, 2019. The full council was present for said resolution and officially resolves the following. Whereas, the Village of Bettsville, Ohio resolves to permit the Village of Bettsville to enter into a loan agreement between the Village of Bettsville and the Old Fort Banking Company, whereas said loan is necessary to secure the purchase of a fire truck. Said fire truck is necessary for the safety of the residents of the Village of Bettsville. Whereas said loan shall be in the base amount of $89,797, based on the information I had, with an interest rate of 4.49% per annum. Said loan shall be 5 years in duration. Whereas the mayor of the Village of Bettsville, Ohio, is hereby authorized to enter into said agreement on behalf of the village. That's the resolution in total.
So my question, just so we get this, if there's a difference in interest rate, how do we make sure that, you know, if it's 5.4% or 5.3, whatever it was? if there's a difference-
What I can do right here, and I can read this in, is with an interest rate of 4.49% per annum if, what was the language you used?
Well, bank tax exempt.
If we're bank
Bank
tax
exempt.
Exempt, and if we're not bank tax exempt, I'll put both in there.
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Such status is unknown at this time.
What's our resolution number?
I don't know. I'd have to run upstairs and get it.
Okay, cause we wanna get it passed.
Wouldn't it be, it'd be 1901, wouldn't it? The year and then the first resolution of the year.
Yeah,
made
because
it
we haven't
easy.
had one this year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it would be 19-01.
You're right.
Okay. Don't run upstairs then.
That's good. It's a resolution, you said?
Yes.
Yes.
What was the rate if we weren't bank tax exempt?
5.39
5.3.
Okay.
versus 4.49.
So with it being a resolution, we only do a motion to adopt, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So you want me to do that now?
Yep.
I need a motion to
I
adopt.
make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Scott,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Bill,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
I did.
I have a couple things. I had to call Julie to see what all I need to do to be able to make the payment and do all that. I need permission from you guys. I need to open up a debt service fund, which will be an individual fund that I'll use to pay the truck loan. And then I have to add a transfer outline to transfer the money for the special levy. So I just need a motion
I make
to
a motion to,
allow that.
do the debt service fund.
I'll second it.
Scott,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
and then,
Joyce?
Joyce.
Joyce. Sorry.
She's excited.
And then I also need to have mentioned in the minutes that I'm approved to take $90,000 from the general fund for the fire truck.
We just gotta talk about it then, is what you're saying?
No, I just.
No, we have to.
You
We just
guys-
have to say it's
Because
okay.
we already
Yeah.
talked, said we could do that.
I'll make a motion to allow Angela to take 90,000 out of the general fund for the purpose of purchasing the fire truck.
I'll second it.
Linda,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Scott,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need then.
Thank you.
Okay, clean up, Joyce.
Nothing yet.
Everything's clean. Water, sewer, street done.
Street department, really nothing going on, obviously. The fence at the vacant house behind the funeral home, Sam come in one morning and gave me a hand and we got that all pulled down, that's all. There's still a little bit of a mess there, and that guy told me that when the ground froze, he would be in with a dozer to clean that the rest of the way up, level everything up, so. That's where we set with that.
And I
Water-
have something to add, John.
Okay.
If somebody's interested in purchasing that land, that if they're an adjacent landowner, they can do it now. If it's somebody that is not adjacent to the land, it's 3 years. And if you have any other questions, call the auditor's office. So that means if Alloway wants to buy it, or
Isn't that in a floodplain?
it is, but
I didn't think you could,
You
Can't
do it
build on
with
it.
them.
you can't build on it, but you can
Farm.
still buy it
Oh.
and pay the taxes on it.
Yeah, you can farm it.
Write it off.
Thanks, Penny.
there you go, Steve.
But if you're not an adjacent person, it's 3 years.
You could not build a property to live in, but could you build a pole barn or something on it?
You'd have to check with the auditor's office, cause,
Well,
I
no,
didn't-
we have zoning.
yeah,
We have zoning, but the last I heard, back when I first joined, is
right,
we were told that that was a floodplain. I don't know if it is or not. Somebody'd
is.
have to determine that, but I would assume it is.
Mhm.
So I would have to say, just off the top of my head, no, you can't build on
The
it.
only way they can build is up where the house was at.
Yeah.
The water won't reach that high.
Water has reached that high,
Well, it didn't the 5 years Heather lived there, that's all I can say.
because it bubbled the floor. I went in there and looked at it after they left, when they were trying to sell it. But anyhow, that doesn't, it doesn't,
Right,
It's from the
right.
dishwasher.
I was just curious, because I know somebody that was interested in it, if they could build a pole barn where the house was sitting at, but.
The
Anywho,
dishwasher did drop.
the telemetry at the water plant's all done, up and running, we're good to go there.
So you're talking?
It's talking back and forth with everybody, so. The generator for the wastewater plant, that's kind of an ongoing saga. That's, they order parts and they're not the right parts, and it's gonna be a big argument between Cummins and I here before it's all said and done, but, basically, they discontinued that model. There's 5 different boards in there, and they think that when they had the wrong, harness, the plugs that were backwards on it, they tried to fire it up, it burnt one of them up. And apparently when one goes on these, it cascades. So, the new harness is on it, they're trying to figure out the computer issues with it right now. They ordered something else and it's supposed to be in tomorrow, and they're supposed to be here Thursday morning to work on everything.
How much does a new one cost?
A lot less than what we're paying to fix this one, or a lot more than what we're paying to fix this one. So.
Can they make some
That
kind
one
of a
was
deal?
That one was 275,000.
Can they make it some kind of a deal?
Oh, we're gonna be arguing. At least, if not over the cost of fixing it over the amount that we're paying for the rental because they keep ordering the wrong parts for the thing.
Which is
Those aren't
kinda on
cheap.
them. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's what I'm getting at,
Yeah,
so,
that's a lot of money.
yeah.
I would think, I mean, because we both run into this where you couldn't find obsolete parts. And you just take it, and you take a picture of it and send the picture, this is, no, don't give it the numbers,
Yeah.
that's what I need.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think they would be doing something like
Well, this thing's got this little tiny card that's like that. And
I
that's-
understand.
It's the complete brains for the outfit. And they had trouble locating one of those. And then when they finally did, they sent the wrong one. So that's what they're waiting on, that's supposed to show up tomorrow. Apparently, the one they sent was one number off from the one that they needed. That was what I was told. I don't know. A lot of the problem is the guy who, and I don't know if this was prior to last meeting or not, did I tell you the guy that normally worked on it passed away? The guy that actually originally helped us start that up, he was 46 years old and had a massive heart attack.
that.
Oh my
Man,
God.
okay.
He had been working for Cummins for 22 years. I mean, I had this guy's personal cell phone number. If I had a problem with anything, I texted him and he would hook me up.
So you're-
And then it was like a month later, finally they called me back that they had the new harness. And he wasn't there, so I asked him what was going on, where Mike was at, and then they told me that. Like 2 weeks prior to that, he had passed, and they were trying to scramble to figure out everything that he had been working on, because he serviced this whole area. So, of course, you know, it's just been one disaster with this thing.
I think it's gonna get to the point where you have to bring one of their big guys down here to take a look at it, make it their problem.
Right.
Yeah, that's where you're
As
at.
long as it's your problem, they're not worried about it, but when they get inconvenience, they start to do things.
Right. So, we'll see what happens Thursday. If they don't get that thing to fire, then we'll be calling in Michigan instead of Toledo, so.
Just leave their rental here and give it to us.
That's not theirs, different company. But anywho, that's all I have.
Clerk? Is there anything you want?
We got the park board pretty well, the stuff and everything, they're gonna get together and do whatever they have to do, and then they'll kinda keep us informed what's going on, you know. So, we'll give you, 10 days, maybe a couple weeks, okay?
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get something going by this summer, yeah.
Okay. So there's the guy that came and talked last council meeting.
Yeah, he's one of them, Ed, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
he's seemed like pretty nice.
Yeah, he is, he's a real nice person, and he wants to get this fish and stuff started, and, you know, but everybody that's on there, you know, is pretty knowledgeable, so. Well, kinda, sorta.
There we go. There it is.
If the committee, they're establishing a 501c,
Yeah.
correct? So then the money will be taken out of Angela's hands and the council's hands and put in their hands to
There.
control.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Isn't that why?
I think we should probably meet as a group and then form what we have to elect officers and move forward. Then come to council, because we shouldn't be doing anything without council's blessing.
Yeah.
So just sit here and say,
Exactly.
we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do
Because
this.
I don't want it to go back to what it was when we took over
Yeah.
and took it out of, the park board's hands and put it in our hands.
Well, that's what I said, that's why I think the park board should take care of it, because, you know, if the council was involved, you know, how people were just gonna accuse us of doing all kinds of stuff to keep the park from opening, you know, this way,
It'll take a little time.
it'll take a little time, you know, and
I-
stuff, and, you
Just wanna
know.
make it
Yeah.
clear so that if
But
somebody
they
talks to
can
me, I
still
can.
talk to us,
Right,
you know.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, they still gotta come through us
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
the okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Zoning, Rob, is there anything?
No, nobody's voted anything. The only thing I'll ask, I'm sure John gave a building permit, but that brand new garage we're building there on, Union Street.
Yeah, we talked about that last month.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Yeah,
Nice garage.
That's bigger than the house is.
that's my old house, that's where it
We'll
goes.
have to take some property from the school to build it.
Yeah.
Took our old garage down there,
I've seen
old
that.
single car garage, the big H on there.
The one that was leased.
Yeah, different.
When they got that surveyed, when they got that property surveyed, they actually found out that they had a fence up along Lee's place there. That was actually 4 foot onto Lee's property,
Oh, really?
yeah. So,
Well, everybody in town
That's what
owns
your
somebody
zoning's
else's
for,
property, you
so-
know,
you
yeah.
know,
My
that-
old house where I grew up.
Well, her daughter had told her mom was thinking about selling.
Yeah, she sold it and some gal out of state.
Right.
I mean, you
It's a
just put a
shade.
summer house.
it's a shade.
Shade.
She's originally from here,
Oh, really?
Bettsville, Kansas area.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's gotta be related to the Vicky
Shade.
Shade.
Vicky
Lumber.
Shade's sister,
Lumber
maybe, or
or
whatever, or,
The one that's on the cemetery committee.
yeah, Vicky,
Vicky,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would assume she's gotta be related.
They used to live out here, Maple Grove, out here in that house, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the whole family, yeah. Mary Ann was married to John Nye, yeah.
What's her family?
Yeah.
Okay. Old business. Are we coming with the annexation?
I got approved.
Oh,
Really?
really?
So I talked to Angela before, she's gonna send me the check. And then she'll take a little bit to give me the check, because they'll have to sign the stuff and send it back to me, but I got the email that says, looks good, go ahead. So, we're good.
Oh my.
Oh,
That
my
was 8
goodness.
years. That was 8 years of process.
No, longer than that.
Longer
Was
than
longer
that,
Rick
yeah.
was here for almost 10.
Okay,
The wheels
so we're
of
moving on
justice.
that one finally, huh?
Roll.
As far as I know. Unless some other hiccup comes, but
Wow.
I don't think so. I
We ought to have a
Maybe in warp
party.
drive.
So do we have to have, you need to get money or something for the?
We already did that.
That's all.
Yeah.
We already approved me getting money
Okay,
from
so-
Angela, so she just
Yep.
has to physically write that check.
Okay.
yep.
And then, at least my understanding is that I take everything with the commissioners, and I think I gotta show up and grin at a meeting, and I think we're all set.
Show up in a what meeting?
Grin at a meeting,
Oh.
smile. Because I then become I become the agent of Basic,
Okay.
and by being the agent of Basic, I am asking to be annexed into the village.
Okay.
And assuming the commissioners approve that, then
Oh, that's wonderful.
it's on.
The park will actually.
That'd be great.
Wow. Oh, congratulations.
Well, don't graduate.
Not yet.
Oh, I know that, but he.
I don't need
he's
some
done a lot of
disgruntled
work.
commissioner
Yeah,
to
you've done a lot of
to
work
put
already.
Yeah. this-
kibosh on it.
Huh?
Let's see her through it.
Yeah, we'll get close, so let's.
Well, tell me either okays it or we'll stick one of those things in his.
That's right. You won't get a number on this house. And then you'll have a heart attack and no one will be able to find
Yeah,
it.
right.
That's twice I heard about heart attacks.
Yeah, that's too much in it.
That's enough.
Okay, next, house numbers, what we doing on that yet?
Well, we haven't really got together on that because it's been busy this past month, but evidently Linda and I will sit down here. We'll try to get somebody to help us, maybe some kids or whatever.
Maybe some old gimp here can help.
Yeah.
us.
Mike,
Oh, yeah, you
Mike
do.
can help.
Yeah, well,
Mike
Mike
will
can
help.
help, and Gary, you aren't gonna be running any races for a while, you can help.
There goes my, there goes,
Yeah,
there goes my Florida trip.
yeah.
Lots of love,
They
boys.
don't need you laying on the beach down there, believe me.
Yeah, that's good therapy.
That is not a pretty sight, let me tell you.
I didn't go there.
Oh, okay.
You made it.
Huh. See, a 75-year-old guy laying on the beach, huh? Okay, cameras for recycle bins. Now, the problem I understand is we have a setup here that has 4 cameras, and that's all that this allows, right? Am I right?
So what I was thinking is if I get the scrap pile cleaned up out there and hauled away, we move them around the side here behind the fuel tank, then they'd be on this camera, cause that shoots the parking lot. Then we won't be spending a fortune trying to put a whole new system in, just cause we wanna watch who's dumping trash here and there.
Okay.
So,
How much gas fees?
Alright.
No, that makes sense, I mean, it's,
Mhm.
Yep, no more dumping trash for use.
Might be able to
See all the fun out of that.
I was gonna say, we just put a new system in down to Legion too, and Best Buy put them in.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like $1,600 to put, I don't know, 8 cameras in there, so.
Interior cameras.
Exterior too.
Oh, exterior.
Yes, and it's all wireless, and they charge us $150 to install everything, and so that was with the $1,600 and some dollars, so. I mean, if we need something, why, that might be a way to go too.
What they told me at North Coast was wireless won't last long. That's why we didn't go with the wireless ones when we put them on the building here.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was the newest and greatest. Well, we'll find out how long they last, then.
yeah. No, you, well, we'll have network issues and stuff like that, because that's common, those things.
Okay, next is Carolyn's wages. Last month, it was a 3-2 vote for giving her a raise. And then she'll get the 3% in time. That is legal, I talked to Alex.
What we think,
But, yeah, go ahead.
what I think it does is I think the 3-2 vote gets her on the dance card to have an ordinance discussed and then you have your reading just like anything else, and then there's an actual full vote on it. Because the motion was made to give the raise. You can't give a raise via motion. So the motion happened and the motion was approved. So I think talking with Gary, is my thought is that the 3-2 motion gets you guys to actually discuss it as you would any other ordinance.
Yeah,
As
pass
opposed
it as an
to,
ordinance.
let's say it failed 2-3, and I think you're dead then, and doesn't come back up unless someone keeps reintroducing it. So that's where I think you're at. So I think I would have to do a resolution to discuss. You would discuss the resolution, and you vote as you would vote.
So what are we supposed to do here now?
I would say-
Resolution or ordinance?
Or excuse me, ordinance. My fault.
Yeah.
I have resolution on the brain.
Yes.
An ordinance for it. So and then we just talked about it here just before the meeting, so what I would think is that it would need to be discussed next, it would be a resolution just like any other, an ordinance just like any other ordinance where you do your 3 readings.
You can do 3 readings.
Because
or you can pass
because
it
you
in-
can't just give raises via motion.
Right.
No, but you can pass it by an emergency,
Correct, but we didn't.
Right.
but you can.
You could, sure.
I mean, we have one here tonight.
So if you want to
do
discuss it, go for it.
And I didn't know how you guys wanted to do it. Our main concern was the 3-2 bit, whether that was legal to do or what have you. And he suggested.
I think the motion is fine because all you're doing by doing the motion is getting it through the first round of things.
So how would council like to handle this? Do you want to pass it as an emergency, or do you want to do a 3 reading deal, or how do we want to do this?
Well, I think it's already been about 3 months that we've been
Yeah,
talking
go
about
ahead.
this, so I think that we should go ahead and just get it over with and done.
The only thing I would say is because you're dealing with money and with with raises and things like that, make sure that's something you want to do via emergency, with suspending your rules and just go ahead and doing it. I mean, I know you guys have historically had, I just don't want this to be something that comes up on some sort of audit or someone decides that this is what they're gonna go chase after you on is a raise, even though it's in theory a good thing, when you've decided to suspend the rules and just do it. But that's your guys' call. We do a lot of things via emergency.
Yeah, I mean, it's no problem doing it that way. It's just what council wants to do.
I guess the issue comes down to if we do it, make motion to do it, then if it takes 3 readings to do it, if we do it normal, so it doesn't look
So it's another 3 more months.
Do we make it
So we've
retroactive then?
been messing with this for like
Yeah.
6 months or so.
Well, then, do we
That's
make
a
it
lot to
retroactive?
ask. I mean, it's,
Can you make it retroactive if we do the 3 readings?
I guess my suggestion would be is if you want to, I don't think you can make it retro, I'd have to look. So this is reckless speculation a little bit on my part, so. But my thought would be, rather than have it be retroactive, because obviously this person will be being paid as this is going on their regular wages, you'd make the raise effective when it's passed. You could put in the ordinance, she shall also receive, a bonus equal to the monies that were while you were just debating it, if you want. I mean, that, if you feel like, if the council's feeling is that in the event that it passes, you don't want to penalize her for having to go through the procedures of the 3 readings, and because the council only meets once a month as opposed to twice a month, for example, and you feel that she needs to be basically compensated back ways for that time, I think that may be a split the difference way to do it. That way everyone knows that she's going to get that, if it so passes, that she's going to get that back pay, rather than trying to make a backdated resolution. That's just my thought. That sounds like something that shouldn't be any problem doing, as opposed to saying, well, it's retroactive, and then someone gets on their high horses and says, well, no, you can't.
Right.
And if it doesn't pass, it doesn't pass. But if it does pass, my thought would be there's a bonus component for, hey, sorry, we've kind of sat on this, and then there's just a going forward.
I think rather than muddy the whole water and talk about bonuses and because we can't just do the emergency
Sure.
and get it
Agreed.
done.
I agree.
And I will support that, because I was supporting our money before, I just didn't support the way it was done.
yeah.
I would like to stipulate to the council that whenever an employee, regardless who they are, an employee has a problem with something like a pay raise or somehow they're being treated, that goes through the proper, or through their proper help chain. In other words, that goes to the boss can't give them satisfaction, brings it to Gary can't give that person satisfaction, then they bring it to the council instead of doing anything else. That way it's all above board, everybody knows about it, everybody has a chance to discuss it. I mean, I had a police officer a few years ago come to my door and wanted me to support her on something, and I said, no, you're not just coming to me and talking to me. You got this, bring it to council, stand up there and talk to us, which she eventually did. And I think that's the way to do it.
Let me ask you
That's the only problem I have with this whole thing.
a quick question: is who is her?
John,
Is the ultimate boss Gary, or is it council?
Gary would be
Is-
administration,
Is
right?
it, is it Gary or
Let me ask
John?
you
would
this:
be
who
John.
fires her?
John.
John
Okay.
has that power.
Okay, so council's pure responsibility is her compensation.
Yes.
Okay,
And working condition, because we set our working rules.
I understand that, but I mean,
But that's what I'm talking about, bring it to the boss, if the boss can't handle it, follow your help chain, and then bring it to council. And let us listen, that way everybody knows we're all on the same team, and we're all working towards the same end. We may not agree with everything we're saying, but it's all above board.
Right, and that's what we want to be. So, like, John, did
With
you
that
have-
in mind, I will, because the money's
Yeah,
mine already.
And I think the issue is that we've been carrying this on way too long. We should be a little bit more, get resolution to stuff quicker than what we did. So, I mean,
well, and some of it was because we didn't have enough.
Well, we haven't had enough people the last 3 months to pass anything anyway, so that's the problem, but it still doesn't make it right,
right.
so.
John, did you say what's this?
It is quicker than the annexation.
First,
Yeah, it is.
first off, we've never done 3 readings for an increase on
No, we
anybody,
haven't.
okay.
as long as I've been here.
Nope.
Second, we did have a long, involved conversation and got everything squared away. So
Amy's done.
that, at least with me, she doesn't have any issues anymore, so.
Well, we want to pass this in emergency.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Okay, well, wait a minute, we got to get, have we got any?
Maybe ordinance
Not yet,
1901.
1901, right?
Two, we already did one.
No,
No, we did a
this is
resolution.
an
Oh, that
ordinance.
was a
It's
resolution.
it's the running problem I have.
Scarred me.
So
Yeah.
this is 1901.
Right.
And we're doing the $1.39
Yeah, plus the.
plus the 3% at the beginning of the year, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
It'd be her, whatever her wage is plus $1.39.
Right, right,
So you have to put that in there.
okay, I'll get
It's
it.
not the $1.39, or it's
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
be
give her a
paying her
date.
$1.39.
Okay, ordinance number 1901, an ordinance establishing an hourly wage of Carolyn Tompkins and declaring an emergency. So I don't have to read all this, so.
So
A motion to suspend the rules.
what's the wage, so I know that I do it
What is
right?
she getting now plus
She's
a
getting
buck 39?
1061, right?
Now, plus $1.39 or
And-
her 3% and then $1.39?
Doesn't a
Yeah.
$1.39 bring
Her
her to
3%
12?
will be $10.93.
Okay, be
She should already got it,
1093,
3%.
She will when I do payroll.
and then $1.36,
$1.39.
$1.39.
That's what it said on that.
Well, that's because
supposed
that
to
was
be-
prior to the
Yeah.
3%.
Yeah.
I
It
think
should
Joyce
be
was taking her to the 12.
$12
And then she
plus
would
the
get the
3%.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's what we want to do.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
So we're taking her to $12
Plus 3%.
plus the 3%.
okay.
Right. That's-
All I need to know is the wage, so I don't screw it up.
$12 is, well, $12
So she's
plus her
only making
3%, huh? You do the 3% on the $12.
$36, right?
36 cents, isn't it?
Yes,
Should
36
be.
cents, that's what I'm coming up
And
with.
I'm thinking in my head, it's 36 cents.
Yeah, it'd be
12.36.
$12.36 then.
$12.36 then,
Effective her first pay this year, right?
right.
Yes,
So the ordinance needs to say 1236.
yes.
And then do you wanna put first pay of this year's instead of a date? Because with pay periods, that messes.
Well, yeah, just go by regular pay period.
So this is gonna be an emergency, you said?
Yes.
I need a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second.
Scott,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Bill,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Linda.
Yes,
Motion to declare an emergency.
so moved.
I'll second it.
Linda,
Yes,
Scott,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Bill,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Motion to adopt.
I will.
I'll second.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Rob,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Linda.
yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks, Jim. Okay, we got on here wastewater annual increase to 3%, and that I know we talked about it, we was gonna bring it up, and according to the council meeting, the last council meeting here, it said, Bill asked about the water percentage increase ordinance. Got to get with John and Angela to go over the budget and bring it to the next meeting for further discussion, which is tonight. John said he said to the finance committee and do it.
We have to do something tonight.
Yeah, we wanna do something right, 'cause
First of February.
Right, exactly, that's
Does
what.
it go up every year, John?
Yeah, I think we can, it's supposed to be 3%, that's what we
Geez,
have,
3% every year?
but I think we can amend that, right?
I think
Yeah, we can say that we don't wanna do it this year, or we can go year by year.
But you can yeah, if you want, you can just suspend the ordinance for the year
Right.
and revisit it every year based
Yeah.
I
on,
think that's probably what we should do.
I think that's what we should do.
We need,
Yeah,
because you don't want to run in every year messing around with the percentage. Well, this year's 3, next year's 2, next year's
Right.
1, next year's 5. I mean, just making that up, but
yeah.
just suspend it and if you're hurting next year, you put it back in.
Yeah.
What's your opinion? You know where we're at more than I am, because you're doing it every day, so.
I just get nervous when push comes to shove. If there's an issue, I don't wanna have to do what Fremont did and raise rates 29%. That's why you do your consecutive percentage yearly, so you don't run into a problem and have to do that, but.
But it's getting to the point where
That's
it's
why-
just getting up there and up there and up there, you know?
It's too much for this town to afford. I mean, it really is.
What do you do when you can't operate because you don't have
Have the
enough?
EPA take over,
That'll have to do what happens.
just like Bascom did.
And then you'll pay even more than you pay
I don't
now.
think so.
We
I
were
don't
checking
think so.
around, and don't write this as a Bible, but the EPA goes by an area average, not some exorbitant price, because their people already paid for it. Paid for by the state, so let's not jump to the conclusion that that's what's gonna happen.
Do they go according to like income and stuff too?
I'm
or
not
just-
saying how they do, I'm just saying let's not jump at conclusions that the sky's falling. That that's gonna happen, but I do know one thing, we have a town, the median income is very low, and we're paying the top price for water in any place around this area. And I understand we're
that's
basing
not
on
true.
our housing and our equipment and all that, and self-sustaining, but it was just like our police department. I mean, we got to a point where we had to do something. Well, that's what we're responsible for.
When it's broke down, your rates are cheaper than anybody around here.
I don't believe that.
Well,
I don't believe that,
you
not
should
for a minute.
do some digging
I have
because
done some.
$3.50
It pays $30 a month.
$3.50 for 1,000 gallons of water is awfully cheap.
$103 a month for water when my
That's
daughter
not
in
just
the neighboring
water.
town's
That's
paying
your
a third of
sewer.
that. It's crazy, and I don't, and it's just 2 of us. She's got 5 living there.
You do pay $30 a month for water here. The rest of it is sewer.
I'm talking about her total bill is $30,
And where's that at?
Fostoria. Now, I understand there's a lot more houses divided over, but the who live in this, town, and no offense, John, but you and Angela don't pay those prices. We do, and we have to face the people it does. So, we're gonna have to make a decision what we're gonna do here. 'Cause this is our home. And I think it's carried away. If something happens down the road, I mean, that's why they elect us, so we can take action. But I'm not gonna say if we gotta keep on doing what we've always done out of fear.
How much does that 3% bring in?
Oh, that total? I don't know. It raises the bill on average a couple dollars.
How
Well,
much
yeah.
do we
2 or
take in
2 or
from
3
the
bucks.
water department a year?
I'm looking, I don't know the number off the top of my head without, you have an idea? I mean, what kind of reserves we got right now?
Well, that's why I wanted the finance committee to meet this past month, so all that was done. I don't really know. off the top of my head. The balance in water is 317, and the balance in sewer is 379.
Well, the sewer revenue, if you look under your revenue status,
Oh, I'm not looking at
consumer rent revenue was $182,000 for sewer.
it. Gotcha.
which is the end of the year.
So what percentage are we paying for the sewer?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. It's on the report when they give it to me. It's in the system. Do you know the breakdown in here for the
I
water
don't
and
even know,
sewer?
I'm completely confused as to what we're talking about.
What do you mean percent, Joyce?
Well, I mean, you said we're paying $30 for water
Mhm.
and $50 for sewer, right?
Generally,
I mean,
right in there,
the
yeah.
normal bills for 1,000 is like $80.02, right?
Oh, yeah, I think it's,
Yeah.
I think it's $80.
And then it's like $8 more for if you use two.
Yeah, your usage for water is $21 and some odd cents, the rest of it's, plus $3.50 for every 1,000. So, yeah, the average water bill is $30. The rest of it's wastewater, which is a system that has 300 houses on it, and it costs you $5 million to put in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna be expensive.
How many more years we gotta pay for that?
It's been in 14 and it was a 40-year loan, so.
Yeah, we got them all.
Well, I'm not gonna help you
We won't be on council when that
pay
thing-
the rest.
What?
We won't be on council when that thing.
No. You won't even be in this town.
I
Well, I
might be in
won't.
town, I might be under it.
Permanently, maybe.
Really?
But if you look at your revenue status, the water operating consumer rent brought in was 121,485.
21.45, okay.
And then the sewer was 182,92.
Mhm.
But that, I know they've been really sticklers on tagging people and all that, so this might be some back stuff
Yeah,
too,
we've
and
got
tax
some back-
assessments
Yeah.
and,
Yeah, we got paid quite a bit.
yeah, so that's not a, probably
It's
real
not
good average.
completely
for-
accurate,
yeah.
but you're in the ballpark.
Mhm.
And for
Maybe
sewer,
we
what
could
do we?
just Spend it this year and then we'll find out what.
So, well, hold on. So our sewer, we brought in 180,
182,
and we pay out, just for the payment, 118.
Mhm.
That's not counting your budget.
Yep.
So you're pretty close.
That's a month or a year, John?
That's a year.
That's a year, okay,
But you're pretty close to paying out what you're bringing in right now.
yeah.
About 60,000 more than what we're paying out.
Hmm.
64,000.
That's not counting your budget though.
Right,
That's just a payment.
right, exactly.
yeah, the sewer was, I paid 118,524 payment last year, and then the water was almost 40,000.
We pay that yearly, correct, Angela?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the total for the year.
So about 158,000 for sewer and water.
And that's just the loans, that's not all the other expenses.
Right,
Yeah, the other operational cost,
Yeah,
exactly.
the chlorine, all those other things that we have to buy, pay for all that stuff.
well, appropriation status year-to-date was 155,000 for sewer,
So is it,
before the 118,000 sewer bond.
So that's,
that's the one we got, I mean, that's, another issue is, was that 3% we were just talking about, was that only for the water, or was that for the water and sewer?
that's for water and sewer.
Yeah, so that's for both of them.
And then the water was almost right around 100,000 year-to-date expenses.
So yeah, we're banking some of the water, we're not in sewer. Which is, that's why I was kinda hoping somebody would get together over this last month and go over everything, but. Because it makes, I mean, it's ultimately you guys' decision, it don't really matter. I mean, it is what it is, because if the wheels fell off, you guys gotta come up with a way to fix it anyhow, so, I mean, it really don't matter, but, I get nervous. I understand where you guys are coming from, and you're absolutely right, I don't pay it. But, you know, our outside people pay $82 a month, and, I pay more than that for a system in Fremont that's over 100 years old. So, cause they just raised their rates 29% over 3 years, they raised it to pay for the upgrades for their wastewater plant. So, I went from $60 a month when I first bought my house 20 years ago to, I'm at 93 something a month now.
I was living there 10 years ago and I was paying 30.
Yeah.
Over on Hazel Street.
In town, yeah, I don't live in town.
I mean,
I
that's what
pay,
I was paying.
I pay an out of town.
32 I think it was, or something like that.
I pay an out of town.
Water, sewer.
Mine was one
That was water and sewer, they don't divide it, I mean, it's divided up on.
Right. Because it's the same entity like it is here. In Tiffin, it's separate, cause Tiffin owns their wastewater system and their water's owned by a
Bear
separate
in mind, we're
entity.
still gonna be bringing in the money
Mine
on
was
the
only
water.
80.
So, I mean, we're not doing that, we're just saying, well, we're not gonna raise it 3%.
Right.
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 And I think that's something we need to do.
Okay, well, whatever you wanna do, we'll have to make a motion on it and.
Make a motion to spend 3% for this year.
I'll second it.
Bill,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Scott,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Okay, new business. Okay, back on the ordinance to vacate alley on Monroe Street for Alice Lou, so it don't go through her living room. We found, the ordinance on that was 3-67, wasn't it, John?
4-62.
4-62? Well, that's pretty close.
I know, because I just did.
It was a number.
Yeah, I know it was a way back in the day. So, all we have to do is do the ordinance.
I just redid the ordinance. That makes your lives easier.
Okay.
Okay,
And she should have it.
Well, that's nice.
so then we can get that done, I can take it up there and get it all,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
I even put it as our favorite thing, as an emergency.
Yeah, all right,
Oh my
Because I don't even
golly.
drive to the living room.
Oh my lord.
Do you want it to read? Do you want me to read it?
Well, you can read it, go ahead.
Says the Village of Betsville, Ohio, effective January 8th, 2019, hereby vacates a certain alley more specifically described below. A certain alley 16 feet in width running from Monroe Street easterly to the East Corporation line, being bounded on the north by lot 249 and bounded on the south by the north half of lots 198, 99, and 200 in the Andrews addition to the Village of Betsville. Whereas the Council of Village of Betsville has elected by a vote of 3/4 of its members to dispense with the requirement of section 731.17 of the Ohio Revised Code that had this ordinance be read 3 separate days prior to its passage. Is that, you wanna keep reading, or is that no?
What, you wanna keep reading?
No.
No, you're done.
So this would be the first reading?
We don't wanna
No,
pass
No, it's
that?
an
No,
emergency.
it's an
It's an emergency.
emergency.
So I put the language in it. She doesn't need a car going through her living room.
A motion to suspend the rules.
She said.
I'll second it.
Scott,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Joyce,
Yeah.
Bill,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Motion to declare an emergency.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Linda,
Nope, I just did a brand new one.
Yes.
Brand new one.
Bill,
Yes.
Okay, so we
Joyce.
have a whole new number.
Yeah.
So it'd
Yeah.
be
Scott,
Yes.
1902.
Yes.
Rob,
Come in.
Yes.
Yes. it was
Motion to adopt.
1902.
I move.
I'll second.
Rob,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Scott,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Linda.
Yes. It's ordinance number
So is that
1902.
1902 then? Hands up?
Yes.
Now, does she have to do anything like this?
No, we take care of it, it'll be all done.
Doesn't do a thing.
That's what didn't happen 40, let's be generous, 50 years ago, was,
Yeah.
it didn't get, I don't think it got
But then
recorded.
her deed will say that.
Her deed number will say that.
No,
This will be recorded so that her deed is unchanged.
Yeah, okay.
The difference is this
Okay.
stuck through it, so now this extinguishes that, and so it just, it was never there.
Yes,
That's good.
so we better call
she
her.
keeps telling me, she says, Gary, you gotta get this done before I die. I says, Alice Lou, you're gonna live forever anyhow.
I tell you what, I know a certain attorney that probably would've went before.
You took care of that beside me too, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I thought,
And that was easy, so I mean,
that's what I figured.
She's actually a wonderful
Oh,
woman.
she is.
I don't doubt it.
Wonderful woman.
Yes,
So you could give her,
Gary,
Oh,
I didn't-
yeah.
I didn't see it on your agenda. Do you guys want to do the ordinance about, at least do a reading of the ordinance about the return check stuff?
Oh, sorry about that.
Because I was unnecessarily on it this month, and so you have
well,
a
my
water
God,
ordinance too.
congratulations.
I know, I don't know what came over me to be productive.
Didn't celebrate
but-
Christmas or
That's
what?
right. I was
He
focusing
worked, he
on-
worked Christmas on it.
I worked tirelessly for the village of Bettsville.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea to get that going.
So what do we need to do here then?
Do you have it?
You should have it.
What are you talking about?
The ordinance to get rid of the ordinance to add a fee for a stop payment.
I didn't get an email for that.
Stop payment,
Yeah, that's some.
not a
once-
not a
Correct.
return,
Correct. It's not a return check. It's a stop payment.
Insufficient funds check.
insufficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's
But it was a
same
stop.
thing.
No, it wasn't insufficient.
No,
It
it
was a stop
wasn't.
payment.
Oh,
It's a
stop
payment,
payment.
and
That's-
it's like $35 to
Yeah.
stop
40.
payment. 40, is that
According to
what
our
it is?
ordinance.
wow.
Yeah,
You mean somebody did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
if they stop payment, we don't get paid.
Yeah. They stopped.
They have
Plus you
to,
get a fee.
They stopped the payment.
they have to pay it, they have to pay the stop payment fee. At the
Well, that's kind
bank.
of stupid, isn't it?
So we're gonna charge them a fee.
I
on top
actually
of it.
sent it, I think before I sent the ordinance about, it should be right in succession with the one for the,
Yeah, I don't have a copy, and he's checking the emails.
How often does this happen?
well, it happened for the, maybe the first time, but we have
That's
no.
the first time I ever
we have
had
no
anybody
provisional
stop
deal.
a payment. I mean, we get bounced checks
I see.
a couple times a
And the
year.
fee's different.
I'm
I think, is
sorry.
part of it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
What's that?
I'm sorry.
I know.
I thought there was money in there, Jesus
So the
Christ.
guy with the
All right,
badge
check,
right
love.
behind you.
That check's left, boy, I'd have that money in there.
That's what my grandbabies think anyway.
Yeah.
I just thought it was something, eating our lunch.
Good thing something's all left out.
Are we done with everything? Or can we come back to that?
Yeah, we can go back to
Come back
that.
to it, let me pull it
We
up.
just got the one thing, of,
Yeah.
reallocation.
Reallocations of monies.
Yeah.
John, did you find it?
This one you got here that I need to read? Okay. So, the allocation monies with the following funds. General fund, $100 was moved from repairs and maintenance into Medicare. On the street funds, $90 was moved from operating supplies and materials into natural gas. And the general fund, $57.94 was moved from buildings and other structures into oppers. Park fund, $30 was moved from advertising into supplies and materials to pay bills. And $175 was moved from garbage and trash removal into supplies and materials to pay bills. In the general fund, $100 was moved from buildings and other structures into uniform accounting network fees to pay bills. And then on the general fund, $580 was moved from buildings and other structures into salary, clerk treasurer, and to the payroll.
Seems like a lot of stuff was taken out of buildings,
That's what
lands
I
and
was-
buildings. They had my stuff again?
Yeah,
You wanna do it before you
I
start?
did it just for you.
Did ya? So we got enough to cut down a couple trees.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Yeah.
allocated monies.
I'll second it.
Linda,
Yes,
Rob,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Scott.
Yes. Gary, you copy this now?
I got it.
you got that
I
one?
got it, yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I'll pull it up now for you guys so that I can.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't, it looks like I didn't for some reason.
Okay, here's the other thing I'm gonna pass around, I did a employee appraisal with Angela, so you guys can pass this around, look at her, so.
Okay.
I tried to get someone accomplished.
There's one on John. Okay.
We must have been pretty good, we haven't been on the news lately.
God dang.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
here, let me hit you in the head.
That has a harder than that. I'm not the greatest writer, though.
Wasn't gonna say nothing, but
Well, at least you wrote it in cursive. I
Huh?
wrote something in cursive and somebody said, I don't know if I know how to read this, it's in cursive.
Yeah, no, that's
I
not
thought,
true.
well,
When they say they're bringing cursive back again.
yeah,
You know,
they
I
better,
said
the
he's
kids
still
won't know how to read the
pretty good 'cause I haven't
Constitution
got
or
crippled
the,
fingers.
any of our
They don't
documents.
even teach them cursive.
No, it's more.
They're starting to bring
They're-
that back.
yeah,
now.
they're
They're
They
supposed
got
to
it
bring
out.
it back,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
All you need is
lower
thumbs
grade.
now, right?
Yeah.
Thumbs is all you need.
Yeah.
it's hard to read that Constitution without it.
Yes, you're right.
We'll get that Cortez one.
Quit reading it a long time ago.
Yes, you will.
I have no respect. Why did you do that?
I'll be doing that stuff, I'm tired. Work my 12-hour days, I'm getting more down, you
Oh,
know.
we get to do John's?
Oh,
That's right, I did it already.
Oh, you did?
It's,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure,
let's
I
read
signed
it.
that.
Here.
He just,
oh, I'm
I
sorry.
didn't write in stuff like Scott did.
Yeah,
What'd you do, rubber stamp this? Gee.
maybe.
I can't find it, guys, well, I'll just forward it for next meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
What?
Yeah, we're tired
Sure.
anyway.
Yeah.
We're just starting out this first month. They don't really get started till July.
That's right.
Now, we got some stuff done that starts in
don't.
February.
Hey,
We got a few, yes.
Wrapping up is what.
Yep, exactly.
I'm just so happy about the annexation finally.
Yeah. That is, who gets
Over
it?
this way.
Oh.
Nothing to read, Scott, just look at the
Yeah.
The
messages.
damn comments.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
nothing there. Talk to
What's there to
Mayor.
say?
I could've told you a few things.
Why don't you just write down
not-
very
it's not
comments at the
dated.
bottom?
Yeah.
Actually,
I
perfect
mean,
in every
it's-
way.
You're gonna have to do this all.
Okay.
Come on. You got a red pen.
You know,
Right.
they're reading your review and half the
Yeah,
council's
John,
laughing.
we need a red
So,
pen for your review.
You didn't write down the date of the review,
No,
Gary.
there's,
I know, I'm leaving that blank angel.
or these.
Or on the back, I mean,
Hey,
That's a red pen.
no, I ain't doing it.
oh no, that's John, you can't give that away, that's Betsville Fire Department.
Yeah, he tried to steal that earlier.
Oh, did he?
You can go right back.
It's not red.
No, say he said red pen, duh. That's
It is
a
red pen.
Yeah,
employee.
it is a red pen, yes.
It's kind of unusual concept.
Okay, anything else under new business to bring up?
No.
If not,
Motion to
motion
adjourn.
to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Okay.